Hi guys. So today we are going to talk about muscle. All right. A lot of people think about muscle, we automatically will think about strength. And oftentimes when I will begin talking to women particularly about the importance of doing strength training, because it's so how important that is, and because muscle is so important, automatically what comes to mind for some women is like, oh, I don't want to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm not trying to look like a bodybuilder. And I'm not trying to get you to look like a bodybuilder. And for a lot of women who are doing strength training in their 40s, 50s, 60s, it takes a lot to begin looking like a bodybuilder. So that's probably not where you're going to go unless you're in a program that's specifically training you and targeting you to begin looking like a bodybuilder. Okay. So just simply starting strength training is not going to have you looking abnormal or like you are female Arnold Schwarzenegger. Okay. But what it does do, because what we really want to make sure that we are keeping in mind is that muscles are important for strength and it's important for our movement, but it's also important for just our overall metabolic regulation of our health. Okay. So muscle plays a role in how we metabolize, our metabolism. So if you do feel like your metabolism is slower than what it was in the past, you want to begin doing some strength training. Insulin sensitivity. Okay, there's that hormone again. Our balance. Okay, so one of the things as we age is that as you start seeing like people in their 60s, 70s, they begin to be more humped over. They begin to walk with a more unsteady gait. Balance. Some of that is because of the loss of muscle mass. Okay. And just your independence. So when you are losing muscle mass, you're not walking the way that you normally should be. You're beginning to having to use a cane, use a walker. And it's really about healthy aging when it comes to discussions of muscle health. All right. More muscle support helps to improve our blood sugar regulation. Again, that insulin sensitivity. Okay. So when we talk about where does fat get stored in high insulin state, your body can begin to store fat inside of your muscles, making your muscles fatty. Okay. So we talk about fatty liver as being one of the consequences of insulin resistance. Some people also develop fatty muscles. Okay. So you begin looking less toned, even when you're trying to do strength exercises. That all affects how we begin to release blood glucose into our bloodstream and how we begin to be more fat storing. When we improve our muscle, we also reduce our fall risk. Okay, so that independence that you were wanting to make sure that you have, your muscles are depending on being strong, decreasing the loss of muscle mass that naturally begins after about the age of 35 and just continues to worsen. Okay, which all of those things improve the quality of life. So think about, what do you want to look like? You know, if you're in your 20s, 30s, what do you want to look like when you're 50, 60, 70, 80? Okay, because the things that you're doing when you're young impact what's going to happen to you when you're older. If you're already in your 30s, 40s, and 50s, we are living longer these days. Think about what you want life to look like when you're 70, 80, 90. Okay. Think about the independence level. Think about wanting to be able to pop up kind of from the seat. Okay. So we take for granted just the ease that we have when we're younger of just simply being able to get up easily from a chair without needing assistance, or walking across the room without needing assistance. The way that we maintain that, because we're losing muscle mass just naturally as we age, which can be worsened by other things that we do. The way to combat that is really to appreciate and make sure that we're taking care of our muscle, and resistance and strength training is one of the most significant things that you can do to help counter that. All right. It's one of the greatest investments that you can make in your future health by preserving muscle mass as well as building muscle mass. Okay. So again, take care of your muscles. Do some strength resistance exercises. You're not going to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger unless you have a personal trainer that is trying to get you there. Okay. Little muscle. All right. That's all we asking. Little muscle goes a long way in the long term. not just right now, but your future self will thank you. So hope that's helpful. If it is, make sure to like and share with a friend. Thank you.